Hello, welcome back to my channel where I try to share with you all things about trying to live frugally on a budget with a large family. So you're going to have real life in the background. I am going to do another kind of spend the afternoon with me in the kitchen. I'm constantly in the kitchen, mainly because, again, a lot of the pantry food needs prepping and worked through because it's food that's going to expire or is expired and needs to be preserved in some way if it's going to be useful. So I am often in my kitchen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get dinner started. I have some roasts pulled out. These are 1 pound roasts. I'm going to put them both in the crock pot. There's a possibility of having some extra kids this evening, so this will be great. So I'll put them in the crock pot with some onions that I actually got from the food pantry. I'll have to find them. And some potatoes and some carrots. And we're just going to have a basic roast for dinner tonight. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, because once I get busy going here, the rest of the day just gets away from me. So that's what we're going to start off with. We're going to get dinner going. Actually, the first thing I'm going to start out with, I did this in the last video. I'm going to make a basic list of some things that I want to do. And then I'm going to get dinner going in the crock pot. When there's a lot going on around me, I need something like a list that can help me stay focused and really just be able to accomplish the things I want. Now, I definitely have a lot of scatterbrain issues. There's always so much going on in my life that's pulling me from one thing to another, whether it's my phone going off for texts that I need to answer, whether it's kids asking me about this or that, whether it's somebody unexpectedly dropping by and needing help with something. Like, this is just my life. So having a list like this is just one way that I can have a more productive day. These are some of those pearl onions that I got in one of the food pantry hauls. Not really sure what to do. I did end up using it in the roast. Some of the recipes said you could just throw them in, but there was so much of the dried out skin that I ended up peeling them, and I'm really glad I did, because a couple of them did not get fully peeled. And my husband and I ended up getting those pieces, and we were just thinking about how tough they were to chew. So definitely glad that I made the decision to peel all these pearl onions, and it took a while, but it was the best decision. One thing I try to do, and I'm not always successful, but one thing I try to do is making sure that I am washing as I go along. Sometimes there's just time limits that doesn't make it possible, but if I can do a little bit now, it does make a difference for later. I really enjoy making banana bread because the smells in the kitchen are just motivating enough to keep going. It gets the oven warm because the banana bread just takes an awful long time. So it gets that oven warm. If I had anything else to go into the oven, I can kind of use this first half hour of the banana bread being in there to kind of prep anything else that would need to go and whatnot. And it just is, I don't know, I just feel more of a homemaker, more of a person that has accomplished much when those smells permeate the house and the kids get excited when that hot fresh bread comes out of the oven. Even though I am wearing short sleeves right now and even my shirt is kind of promoting gardening and whatnot, this day was kind of more chilly, and so having the oven on meant that I could kind of warm up the house a little bit. And that's another reason why I really enjoy making certain breads and whatnot, because then the pull to be outside and do things is balanced with the homemaking aspect of being in the kitchen and doing what I can for my family. We also cannot forget that hot cup of coffee, essential to every homemaker's life. I know my choice of music isn't what is popular with our current culture, but I find it very relaxing and smoothing when I hear this kind of ones on other people's channels, and that this is more of a reflection on me. I could definitely add more of the rock type music that is very popular, but it is not me, and I really wanted this channel to not cater to everything that people want, but choose it as a reflection of what I personally enjoy. And so if this is not your type of jam, that is perfectly fine. Please do not waste your time in here. There is so precious time out there to begin with. So just find something else that works well for you. This is what works well for me, and I like to make these videos because they are encouraging. We have so much to do every single day as moms, as wives, as homemakers, and it's kind of encouraging and motivating to know that you're not alone in that, especially in the sense of the fact that I babysit children so mothers can be at work. I live very small in order to be able to do this, and sometimes it seems that it can be something that you're doing alone, something that is no longer popular, in the sense that I'm very old-fashioned, and I guess I've always been this way. I've always been old-fashioned, but it's nice to watch other people do it too and see how they do it and see how they do it well. And in a sense, it builds you up into looking at things from a perspective of, yes, what I am doing is not just for YouTube, because obviously this isn't a popular thing, and I don't want to keep using that word, but it's what's out there right now. But what I'm doing is not just for YouTube, it's building a home for my family and doing this for them. And ultimately, when I do it for my family and for them, I'm doing it ultimately unto the Lord, because this is what He has called me to do. Sometimes this happens and you get going on in the day and then you're given some news and it's like, you know what, I think I'll make a dessert because I need a little bit of comfort food or whatever it would be. No. An urge to pray is typically what I say. So it's an urge to pray, and I'm just going to add something to my list. It's this low carb blueberry cheese Danish recipe. I love it. I will leave it linked down below. It's my comfort food. So I ate it a lot, and I usually make it I used to make it a lot when I was on Trim Healthy Mama. So I decided that's something I'm going to throw into the oven, and it's just going to be my treat. And then we'll move on to the next thing. It'll be interesting with what we do because I just realized I am out of sugar, which not a bad thing. You kind of start digging into reserves, but not something I planned on being short on today. All right, so here we go. I'm going to add that to, let me get the blueberry cheesecake ready to go into the oven. I know I have a lot of footage to edit through, but pretty much all I'm doing is just going to make that bacon right now. I'll link down below my twice baked cauliflower recipe. So I'm just going to turn the camera off for a while because bacon takes forever to cook. In 5 more minutes, I'll pull my dessert out and put my bread in, and that's just going to keep me busy for a little bit until I kind of get my bearings on what to do next. There is a math call that my kids are going to be on, so I try to keep things quiet while they're on that. Yeah, and I will talk to you later. It was a very long day, but I am so glad I was able to get a whole lot done and kind of prep ahead for the week in terms of simple foods that the kids could have easily. I thank you for sharing today with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!